I'm Ethan Erickson, and today I'm demonstrating my app for the 2019 Congressional App Challenge. The app's name is Logic Validator. I was inspired to build this app several years ago while I was working through my propositional logic course in school, and I was being taught to generate complicated truth tables in order to determine the validity of propositional arguments. In order for an argument to be deemed invalid, there must be a row in the truth table where all premises were true and the conclusion is false. However, while repetitively generating these truth tables, I realized that a computer would be much quicker. How to use. Simple propositions in your argument must be simplified to single character variables. An uppercase character represents the same proposition as a lowercase character. Separate each premise by a comma. The conclusion must only contain one compound proposition. Logic operators. There's an negation operator, a conjunction operator, disjunction operator, conditional operators, and biconditional operator. Some examples are the modus ponens argument, which is P, if P, then Q. P is the second premise, and the conclusion is Q. So now if we press validate, it should say valid, but not necessarily true, because validity is not the truth of an argument. We can change this to be a modus tollens argument, which is not Q, therefore not P, and that should be valid. But if we said not P, therefore not Q, this is invalid because it's an example of denying the antecedent, which is a logical fallacy, and that should return invalid. Here's a few more examples for you. This is the tollendo ponens argument of denying the first alternate. As you see, we have P or Q, not P, therefore Q, and this should be valid. We could also say not Q, therefore P. That would also be valid because it's denying the second alternate. However, the app throws some few errors or exceptions based on your input in the premises and conclusion boxes. If one of the premises or conclusion box is empty, it'll throw an empty premise or empty conclusion box error. If we put in some values in these boxes and there's one character that isn't a propositional character, a valid propositional character, it'll say no row is matched to the input and whatever character that is. If we have a lot of variables right next to each other, that's not how propositional logic works, so it'll say trailing values because it doesn't know when one variable starts and the other ends. If we put some parentheses right here, and I don't close them or start them, it'll say mismatched parentheses. So I think this is a truly unique app, which has helped me countless times quickly determining validity for otherwise time-consuming complex syllogisms. Thank you.